Welcome to Milk and Honey. I am canning two types of soup today. The first one is a very simple soup, and my second one will be my Mexican chicken soup. So I process my chickens, so I will be using all the backs, all the chicken legs, anything that bones, and I'm going to add onion, celery, canning salt, cilantro, and carrots to my broth. And we're gonna cook that and we're gonna make it nice and brothy. Now, for this chicken soup, I am using chayote, which is whiskey. But you don't have to add the chayote. This is just my preference. But we're going to be adding chayote, potatoes, celery, green pepper, and some carrots. I will be adding step-by-step instructions in the description box in case you guys are interested. So here goes our chayote, our potatoes, our celery, carrots, and the green pepper. And now I'm gonna add the chicken meat. I am using a little bit of thigh and chicken legs along with chicken breast. Again, this is just our preference. We're going to debubble our jars. That just means you're just gonna take a wooden spoon or a plastic spoon and make sure all the air bubbles are out, and we're going to wipe the rim with vinegar. The vinegar will clean any oil on the rim so that the lids don't have any issues sealing. When you add your rings, make sure you don't over tighten them. Make sure they're finger tight so that you have no issues canning. Now make sure you don't tilt your cans when you're putting them in the canner or taking them out of the canner. Now every canner is going to be a little bit different, so make sure you follow your own instructions for your own personal canner. And altitude, I have to pressure can at 10 psi, and we're going to can it for an hour and a half. The next one is Mexican chicken soup. This one has to be one of my favorite soups because I take what normally people would throw away, all the bones, all the backbones, and I make complete meals out of it. So it's very economical. So we take all of the bones, we make sure they're nicely and cooked, and once they are falling off the bone, I take all of the rib meat and make it into a meal. Now, of course, you could use a whole chicken or just chicken breasts or chicken legs and chicken thighs to make this, but this is what I do when I harvest a big batch of my chickens. Here is all the meat that I got, and we're going to add that to my leftover broth from my first soup. In a pot, I am going to add some cooking oil, tomato, onion, and garlic, some cumin, some cilantro seeds, and some black pepper. Now I will put all of the instructions in the description box for exact measurements. Now here is my cumin, all my little seeds, and we're going to stir fry them with all my tomatoes and garlic. Once they cooked a little bit, we're going to add some of the chicken broth into the mixture. And with my hand blender, make sure you blend everything really good. Make sure all the black peppercorn, all the cumin is very nice and blended. And then I forgot to record the next step, but we're going to add the tomato sauce into my chicken soup, my chicken stock. And we're going to pour them into the jars, and we're going to start the canning process. But I didn't record it, so here is the finished product. We have a nice amount of soup. Now don't disturb them until the next day so that you give the seals a chance to seal completely. Now I always do a test to make sure I don't have a false seal. So I tug a little bit on the lids, and make sure you wipe down your jars because you do have a little bit of spillage, and you just want to make sure you have clean jars when you store them away so that you don't grow any mold or your canning goods get compromised. If you have ever canned before, you know that canning could be very exhausting, but it is very rewarding knowing that I have chicken soup with no preservatives and fresh ingredients. And all the trouble and all the work is well paid off when I get to see my pantry getting stocked. This is a little peek of my pantry. So thank you for joining me today, and I hope you guys give canning soup a try. See you guys on the next one.